Oh, thank you.
Okay.
It was a thrill working with these guys for sure.
It's rolling. What?
Yeah, the songs in this movie and in the last movie are songs that I wrote with my songwriting partner that the OJs are singing.
Oh shit! I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Did you know he's singing in the movie
Oh,
too?
is it?
The song where they say, "Is that a guy or a girl singing that song?" That's me. That's me.
Good. Rolling. What's it? Yeah. So my first.
And now I'm starting to go.
Once it's like, it's like once you break the seal,
Yeah.
man, it's like it's just coming.
Yeah.
Right. My first question is, what made you decide you wanted to sing in this movie?
It's interesting because we had my songwriting partner Jeff Harriet, and we did the music for all three of these together. We're a heavy metal band called Realm Builder. We're a synthesizer project called Binary Reptile. Now that those plugs are out of the way, I knew that the song that I sing, which is called a Better Place for Us, and it's a song that the characters make fun of. So I was not comfortable going to Butch Tavares, legendary soul singer of many classics, or the OJs, and having them sing a song in their falsetto range and then having the characters make fun of them. So ultimately, it just came down to that, and for whatever reason, in that register, I have better control for pitch. So I was able to just do a better performance, and we tweaked it, to kind of emasculate the vocal performance further. But it really just came from the idea is I'm not comfortable to have these amazing soul legends sing a song that the characters in the movie are making fun of.
I thought it was a female vocalist.
Right. We kept pushing it until it got to that edge.
Tory, for me, you're the real star of this show, and this is an incredible character. What can you tell us about your role in this and how he fits into this narrative?
Well, he's a guy that comes into the story with not a lot of options. He's, fresh out of the penitentiary, and his home situation is not very good. And I ultimately think he's a good guy who makes bad choices. But, it's so many great things that are in the movie script-wise that, in certain lines that he says, he gives clues actually to what he's doing throughout the piece. And he's actually ahead of the game, and everyone else is sort of playing catch-up, which is one of the things I thought was just brilliant on the page, and one of the things that I gravitated towards. It's a great line. He says, it's good to be underestimated. And I just love that. There's so many other things that are in the script, that were in the script, that I just loved. And the fact that you get to do it with, Zahler. It's always important too, like from a structurally a screenplay, when you have a director who wrote the words, that's there, who knows exactly what they want, and exactly how it should be delivered. And so it was a great gift.
Zahler, can you only see yourself?
Sorry, Tory.
Oh, see?
Yeah, just a negative.
I'm sitting here going, I know, man.
No.
Now he's worried you're going to come after him.
I'm not going to come
He's
after him.
flying across the United States, across the ocean,
I'm not going to come after
coming
him.
for you.
But thanks for that sweat notice.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry. So your question?
No,
Thank you. Yeah.
I was wondering if that's how you will always work. Do you reckon you'll always work off your own screenplay, or do you reckon you could ever be a director for hire?
As far as a movie, it would be off my screenplay. I mean, at this point, I've written maybe 50 screenplays and 8 novels. So I'm always generating.
You've written 50 screenplays.
I'm always generating more fiction than I could possibly realize as a director, and that's the stuff I'm going to connect to the most. Obviously, it all makes sense to me as a writer, and there are obviously ones I like more than others. Like I liked Dragged Across Concrete screenplay quite a bit. I mean, it's at this point I'm really going to be moving forward with my favorites. But to answer your question as far as director for hire, if it were a television show or something like that where you would just come in and it was kind of set up, it would be interesting to play around with different styles in a way that I don't with features, because I lock in to a style, which I did for Bone Tomahawk. Then I revised it for Brawl and Cell Block 99. Then there was a new one for Dragged Across Concrete. My next one will be in a different style still, but I have to lock into it, and I'm not really playing around. So it's hard for me to imagine ever doing a feature that I didn't write, but to come in and be a part of a TV show, especially one that I liked, that might hold some appeal.
because sorry, you were mentioning about when you read the screenplay and how much you enjoyed it. I mean, there were some lines in there, particularly those dealing with race and politics and stuff, which I could feel shuffling of seats in the screening I was in. They're quite uncomfortable for audience members to sit down and listen. Do you remember your reaction reading some of those lines for the first time?
For me, I didn't shuffle when I read anything. You know?
That would be an interesting image, though.
Right? Yeah. No. I thought that they were three-dimensional characters, speaking how three-dimensional characters would speak if they're from a specific world. And that, to me, was authentic and true about the storytelling and about each character. There's things that Henry John say that ultimately may make people think, oh, this guy isn't so bright, but yet, people get so caught up in what he's saying as opposed to what he's doing. And I think that, that happens every day. We miss a lot of things sometimes when we focus on certain things and not the other.
Yeah, because I mean, the film is in many ways, like you said, it is dealing with the real world, and the real world in many ways can be politically incorrect, for example. So,
right.
And I was wondering in this, and I mean this is a compliment, but it feels like with your work, you make it not necessarily thinking about the audience. You're making a film that you would like and a film that you want to make. And I was wondering, is that the case for you? Did you disregard any potential audience?
100%. And I mean, I didn't test this movie. The previous movie I tested, and there's one question that I'm interested in, which is there anything that confused you? Because I feel in a way that's kind of my only blind spot, where if there are plot elements with the plot that are really clear to me, but that might confuse people, I would want to clarify that. But ultimately, if someone says, this thing is boring, well, it's not for you. This thing is offensive, congratulations. This thing is disgusting, probably so. This thing is funny, glad you felt that way. Anyone is entitled to any reaction they want, and this isn't to be dismissive of the audience, because I love it when people enjoy it, and I like reading positive reviews, and people complimenting the work, probably more so even people complimenting the actors. I can't exactly say why that is, but I love seeing the actors called out more than myself. But I make it for myself, and I want people to like it. But that's not what I'm seeking. It's a great thing when it happens.
But if the actors are complimented, it's because of the writing. It always starts there. An actor can only do so much. You can't act if you don't have a script. You have to have a blueprint. You have to have a way into the story, and this guy created that.
So just finally, do you think that we are, as a society, a little bit too sensitive these days? Do you think that perhaps we do take offence to too much at the moment, particularly on sort of social media or through art, through cinema and TV and stuff?
I mean, there are people that are sensitive about a bunch of things that I'm not sensitive about. So to me, yes, but to them, like, they're entitled to their opinions. So it's something I really try and avoid with my pieces, which is a message, and it's not really something I would want to do with an interview and say they're too wrong or they're too sensitive. I mean, I see people, getting really offended by things that don't trouble me at all, by things that are in my work or in work that I enjoy. But they're entitled to do so. Like, I think some of the problem is telling people how to feel. So if someone storms out of this movie and says it's really offensive or disgusting, I always think back on when I was selling Bone Tomahawk, and we were talking to people who were developing it, and I said, the right version of this movie, 60% of the people would like it, who would want to go see a movie named Bone Tomahawk. 20% will think it's boring, and 20% will think it's disgusting and offensive. And that's fine. Like, those people are allowed to think that way. Most of the people in my immediate circle are not people who are taking offense over everything. But if that's how you're looking at the world and you're coming at everything from that viewpoint, you're allowed to do so.
Brilliant. Thanks so much for your time, guys.
Cool.
I'm actually leaving this time.
Great. Thanks.